What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Latin Splaining. My name is Denise Gonzalez. For those who do not know me, for the ones that know me, I want to say hi. Shout out to Maceo, to Jose, to Sundown, to Extina, all aboard. I see you guys on the chat. Please like and subscribe. Say hi to Bro Tap. I like to say hi to everybody that came here. I see 9 people in the chat. Please hit that like button. It doesn't cost you anything, but it helps me grow my channel. Today's topic is, can you start a business with $0? Now, before I answer that question for you, I have had this discussion with different people, and everybody thinks I'm crazy when I say it, but actually, I have found a way in where you can start a business without investing any money. Before I get into that explanation, you guys know how I do it here. We're going to start with some news that have developed over the last days of last week and this weekend. And I want to start with another person that has zero money right now. And that is, I'm going to share the screen so you guys can see what I'm talking about. The Miami PD has arrested a Dominican deputy called Miguel Gutierrez. Why? Because he was involved in the traffic of drugs that were coming from the Dominican Republic into the United States. Now, this guy over here tomorrow has his hearing at 2 p.m. in Miami. However, he was stripped of everything in the Dominican Republic. And also, he's facing life without parole because of what he did. Talk about corruption, and this is just another proof of the people. I don't know how many of you guys followed me on the stream that I did on Friday. Hi, JS. The stream that I did on Friday, I was explaining my take, my personal theory on why we're still seeing this overwhelming and disgusting corruption in Latin America that is so explicit that it doesn't you don't need to be too bright to actually put two together. Now Morena says, good, lock his ass up. Yes, Morena, I agree. One less corrupt individual to worry about. I think Dominicans have faced way too much in the island to actually have to deal with this kind of individual in power. Like, what the hell? Maceo says, oh, that's the guy they caught in Miami. Yes, this is the guy they caught in Miami. This is the diputado from the Dominican Republic. Thank God, Dominicans have one less problem today. Now, from this news, I want to jump to a development that has happened. I don't know how many of you guys have remember what I explained about the oversight board and the lobbyists that were being selected in a special election in Puerto Rico for to go and basically do nothing because they don't have the connections nor the support from Congress to actually fight for the statehood status of Puerto Rico. Well, on a new development, the oversight board basically rejected. Let me close this window real quick. This news are thanks to El Vocero, by the way. They rejected using $6.6 million to actually grant it to these people that were to fight for the statehood. Natalie Yaresko is basically the Ukrainian lady that I've said, that basically rules Puerto Rico right now. It's not even our governor, it's Natalie Yaresko, an Ukrainian lady that's the leader of the oversight board that rules over our governor in Puerto Rico. Now, she basically said that, Puerto Rico doesn't have enough money to be paying $170,000 per lobbyist per year to actually let these people, go and fight for statehood. Now, I see 15 people have joined. Thank you very much. Please hit that like button. Like Olabor is saying, hi Olabor. I haven't seen you in a while, girl. It's nice to see you. Now, my concern is, this in these two cases, and I'm gonna touch the Lie Latinos Have Believed Part 2 on Thursday. We can see the displays of corruption that I've been talking about we see in Latin America. We're seeing a very corrupt individual that, stealing from the Dominican public was not enough. He had to also get involved in drug trafficking, and on top of that, you have an individual like Ricky Rosselló that I explained to you guys. He was the only governor, the second governor in our history that actually had to resign because of his disgraced term. And now he's one of the lobbyists that was wrote in for statehood by, I think, 3,000 people, something like that. Now, we see these two people and their display of corruption and disregard of the results that their people will get because of their own personal greed. And this is why I emphasize, and getting the knowledge that we need to get financially so that we can fight back. I see that Sundown says, this is why I feel all political officials should have limited terms, harder to corrupt when they have limited terms. Yes, I agree. I feel that, to be honest with you, first we need to start hiring less. If you're over 50 years old, I'm sorry, you cannot be a politician because you're no longer the future. You can no longer relate. Also, no more than 2 terms, and that's it. You're out. So I agree with you on that one. However, these people think, that they can mold the rules and do whatever the hell they want. And, this whole thing is hereditary. We've seen it even in Puerto Rico. There's a mayor that inherited his daughter, the city that he was a mayor in, and now she's the mayor. And if you don't believe me, go look up Canóvanas, Puerto Rico. Go look Shemo Soto, which was the former mayor of Canóvanas, and then now today is Lorna Soto, his daughter, is the mayor of Canóvanas, even though she does the most horrible job at it. Brotev says, haha, he had to also get involved in drug trafficking. It was a requirement if he was to unlock the 100% asshole achievement on his Xbox. Yes, he probably had to. And this is what I'm saying when I'm telling people, if you don't want to get involved in knowing who's ruling your country, calling it out, say something, formulate their opinion, start movements, or at least learn how to vote and support, then I don't think you can be actually part of your community. You're basically not contributing anything. So, which is why, I always try to come here with the most recent news or the most notorious news so that people can um, actually look them up and formulate their own opinions. And also, I've noticed there's a disconnect between our diasporas and people in Latin America. So we have to bridge that gap by talking to each other. So I might not know everything in the world because I'm not even the most intelligent person in the world. However, I try to bring, as much information as I can. Maceo says, "Oh, Maceo, you know who Shemo Soto was, huh?" He was the mayor of the Chupacabra, and the Chupacabra was him, in my opinion. Now, I want to jump into today's topic. Brotep says, "Yep, there's a lot of people, their community will have been better off if they didn't exist in the first place." Yes, definitely. These corrupted officials, like, we literally do not need them. We have to kick them off, and we're better off without them. We really don't need them. Now, today's topic is a little bit controversial. Not even controversial. It's just that people don't understand how this can happen. And my thing is, can you start a business, in the United States? Can you start a business without any money? And the answer is yes, you can. You definitely can start a business tomorrow if you want to. And I'm going to explain you why. In America, there's 34 million businesses. Now, you might say, hey, I'm going to start my new clothing store or my new restaurant or my new, whatever the hell you want to start. And unless you have like a very witty personality that's able to morph into different things when, this business starts to decline, in 5-6 years, you will be closing down. Now, my opinion, and after this, I will let people in, but let me explain it, uninterrupted. My opinion is you can. For example, let's say tomorrow I have $0 in my bank account and I want to start a business and I'm the best mattress seller, right? And I want to start mattress businesses, but I don't have any money for inventory, for labor, or to even rent a place. But I noticed that in my community there is a mattress store that is declining, or they could do better. I come up with a business plan that I will come up regardless for my own business on how to boost sales and how to revamp this old business that is about to go out of business or is a little bit weak compared to other places. And I analyze their business strategy and their numbers. And I approach, like, let's say I approach the owner and I say, hey, I have a business proposition for you. And you design a plan where you can help them boost sales. And as a reward, you get, let's say 10-15% of their earnings. I will boost up your sales because I will promote your business better. I can reinforce the marketing, or, bring in new clientele, or whatever technique that you can develop that is a high, it attracts a high number of people, and you can influx that in a pre-existing business and still make money without investing any of your money. The same can be applied to restaurants that are seeing a decline in public. The same can be applied to clothing stores, to food trucks, to all these retail businesses that you plan on opening or investing your money into. Also, another benefit that you can take out of this is the fact that if you were considered this and you did not have any experience whatsoever before this, well, alongside revamping the business, you get hands-on experience and kind of like a soft opening of your own business, because then you're hands-on and seeing how the operations work. And also you see what mistakes this person has done that has basically plummeted their business, and you can learn from it. So it's a win-win situation. It's just how bad you really want it, and how, how many ideas you can actually implement to better pre-existing businesses. I think that is something that now with COVID-19, we will need a lot. And it's a tip that I'm even looking into myself. Um, so I would say now that businesses are reopening and people are still skeptical, but there's still money out there. People are receiving still some unemployment or some benefits somehow. Some people are just getting into their refund right now. There's money on the street. It's time for us to make some of that money or take some of that money. And one very clever way to do so is by doing this, helping either local, small, or medium businesses to revamp themselves with your knowledge. We have an advantage as millennials because, to be honest with you, we're more knowledgeable when it comes to apps, to social media, to interacting, things that they can bring as add-ons in their business to make it more appealing for the youth. There's many things that we can bring to the table to pre-existing businesses to revamp their business and get it going, and also make a profit out of it. And eventually, who knows, you can make a business that does this for businesses. So you create a business out of nothing and get funded just by the results that you bring to the table. If they don't make sales, you don't get paid. So it's a symbiotic relationship that can be very profitable for you. And you don't need any money to start it. It's just how big can your vision get? How creative can you get in business? So before I let people in, you guys know I like to keep my interactions respectful. Yes, for the show on Friday, I wanted all the smoke. You guys know sometimes, I'm not afraid of the smoke. Sometimes I let it in and it's uncensored. Today, please, if you're trolling, today is not the show. I will do another one where you guys can troll at least once a month. Also, before I let people in, I want to remind you guys of my giveaway. And I have received a lot of complaints from people that don't have an Instagram. And the majority of my following does not have an Instagram. So I will consider, expanding a little bit the giveaway so that people that don't have an Instagram also have a shot at this. And I'm going to add it this way. If you want to participate on the giveaway and you don't have an Instagram, then at least you have to subscribe to my channel and go to my past stream, The Lie Latinos Have Believed, and leave a comment below on your opinion on that stream, and you will be also in, because I understand a lot of people don't have Instagram. So if you don't have an Instagram, I still want to give you a chance to, win this little token of appreciation from my end. So like I said, if you don't have an Instagram, you can easily just go to my channel, subscribe to my channel, and also leave a comment below on my past stream, The Lie Latinos Have Believed, and you will be considered in. Thursday, I will announce the winner. There's some people that actually still did it through Instagram. They're still being in. So let me know so that, you could be in. And once I have a winner, I will get in contact with that person, but I will announce the winner Thursday. Now I see Bridge says, I've heard of that before. There was someone who used to get businesses to pay them just to set up an account on Google Maps. Oh no, that's not what I'm talking about, Bridge. But I mean, that's another thing people can do. To me, that feels kind of like a scam. In my opinion, it's a service that if you don't get any income, then the person also won't get paid. So it's basically an exchange, and it's almost as a guarantee that this business will benefit from your services and your knowledge and your vision. So it's kind of in the same lane, but it feels a little bit more like a scam. But without further ado, I've talked for 35 minutes now, so I'm going to drop in the link. If you think you can share on the topic, if you have your own opinion, if you want to contribute to the subject, you're more welcome to come in. If I don't know you, you at least have to have a picture of yourself. If not, you can just come in, give your opinion, and we can get it going. Now, before we get in the calls, you guys, I started doing some intermission to give people the time to, if you want to go grab something to drink or whatnot, and also to give time to people to come in. I'm going to go for 5 minutes to do an intermission before we continue with this. For the people that are in the background, give me 5 minutes. We will be back. I'm going to give you guys some music, I hope. And I have heard that some of you guys actually do like the music I play. No, I did not create this music. This music was created by other people. Um, no, it's not copyrighted. Don't worry, I'm a professional. Now, I will leave you guys with some music. I will come back at 4:41 or 7:41 for those that are watching me on the East Coast. And we will continue to discuss our subject. So we will be back in 5 minutes, okay? For those who don't know, this is the site. For all the people that don't know where to get non-copyrighted music, this is the site.
If you call that go. If you call that go.
We are back from our intermission. I see that Bro Tep and Ola Boy is here. Somnam went down. How are you guys? How's everything going?
What up? What up?
Hello, how's everyone?
Good. Now, what do you guys think on the topics first? The news from the Dominican deputy that was arrested in Miami. The lobbyists in Puerto Rico that are not gonna get paid for doing nothing in Washington, and also, what's your opinion on the topic? Do you think that people can start a business with $0 with the technique that we have? Well, I have been discussing, and what's your take on it, bro? Tip and all aboard.
All right. Well, as far as the guy who got arrested for doing all that dirt, I wish more of that stuff would happen in Africa. You know what I'm saying? Because a
Yeah,
lot, like we took a big L just now out in Sierra Leone. I don't know who's responsible for it, but we done sold a whole beach and a jungle to the Chinese over there. They sold a beach and a jungle to see it to the
wow.
Chinese. I don't know what officials got paid off to do that, but what happened to old boy in in that Latin American country? That stuff needs to happen
In
in
the
like
DR,
Africa.
it
Yeah,
was in the
DR.
DR. Yeah,
Yeah, that needs to happen. That needs to happen in more places
yeah.
because
That
we have to. I'm sorry, go ahead.
no. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, we have to root out all this corruption. Like I would say a good 65% of these things that are happening nationalistically across the world, right? These nations that are suffering, I'd say a good 65% of that problem is internal corruption. It's just
Yes.
people selling out their country and countrymen and their native soil for personal gain. You know what I mean? And bringing harm upon their people. Well, and
Yeah.
like your boy over in the DR, corruption wasn't enough for him. He had to also go get drugs, like go do some drug
Yeah,
trafficking.
yeah,
So
he
like,
did not, and that's the quality, bro. That's the quality of politicians that we don't deserve, that we really do not want to
mhm,
have or be involved with. I think the Dominican people, I don't know if you guys have seen in my Instagram, I have posted how we're seeing an influx of Dominicans traveling more and more to Puerto Rico illegally because they want
mhm,
to escape this massive corruption and this disgusting government
hmm,
that they are living under. I have friends in the VR that I chat with them almost on a daily basis, and when we talk about all these financial problems that we have. I have a friend that's a nurse over there. She's basically like my adopted aunt. And they don't even get paid livable wages, which is something that's so disgusting. You go through college, you go through so many things to have these politicians actually be the caliber of people that are basically the ruling class.
wow,
And this is who they really are. Make no mistake, this is who they are. They do all these backdoor deals, and I'm so glad that he got arrested for it.
yeah, more of that needs to happen. But
Yes.
like, in fact, if they could have, if it were me, I'd have let him, I would have let him roam free a little bit more, so you could catch all the people he's associated with and do a mass arrest. You know what I mean? Just like they did in the Capitol riot thing, where a lot of people were complaining, like, "Oh, why didn't they arrest them right at the stairs?" No, no, no. Let them do it. Let them go home. See who they make calls to. See who they meet for lunch to brag about it later. So this dude, I think there are way more of him, and it would have been nice if they got his entire network. He was dealing those drugs to somebody. He was doing the conspiratorial corruption with someone,
Yeah,
right? Get all of them. Clean that country up. I mean,
of course.
the DR is not as bad as Haiti, but I'm guessing. I mean, if Dominicans want to say that I'm wrong, they free to say so. But I'm guessing that it could be better, right?
Yes.
So yeah, get more of those guys. Clean that up.
Yeah,
Clean
clean
that
the
up
house.
definitely. Yeah,
No,
clean
like
house,
like
man.
like Donald Trump used to say, drain the
Drain
swamp.
the swamp. You know what I mean? Drain the swamp. Yeah, man. Because that stuff, there's nothing more frustrating than internal corruption.
Yes.
See, things that are going out externally, at least you see the enemy coming and you can deal with it. But like internal corruption, it rots you. It rots the organism from within. It's awful. Jeez.
Yes, yes, definitely, definitely. Now, I want to hear from Jose. What do you think about this whole corruption thing, and this Dominican deputy being arrested for drug trafficking?
Good. First of all, good evening, everybody. I hope everyone is well.
Good evening,
Uh,
Jose.
yeah,
Hello, Jose.
but my thing is this. It's bad enough. You know, he's hurting the dear people of the DR. With not acting responsibly and doing what needs to be done, but to come to U.S. soil to spread poison. That's worse.
Yeah,
But my concern is what they might do is they might allow him to plead down to something else if he has other information, like
Yeah.
other corrupt people that's doing the same thing or even worse.
Mm. That's a good
definitely.
point. That's a good point.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely.
I
That's a
mean,
good
I
point.
would want for all of them to get the same charge and just get all of them en masse. But what you're saying is more realistic, and it would be more realistically feasible. That would be what would happen. That he would, in order to get everyone else or someone even higher than him, they would make him plea, or they, his lawyer would probably make a plea for him, like, hey, he can give you this guy above him and a whole bunch of other people if you give him immunity. And
Yeah,
that's another problem, I think.
true.
yeah,
Because when people do this, they really do this by themselves.
Yep,
They have to have other people that's involved in this stuff.
yep, definitely.
and
It's a network. It's a network.
yeah, it
No, nobody
is.
who conspires by themselves. Nobody conspires. If there's corruption,
Nobody.
if yeah, look, in order to be corrupt, can you imagine if he was corrupt by himself? How would that work? So someone would come up and be like, hey, through the proper channels. Listen, I filled out the paperwork for this particular litigation, blah 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 blah, and then he'll be like, "Well, I can certainly make that happen, if you know what I mean." Wink, wink. And the other people, since he's the only, since he's the only corrupt one, the guy who brings up the litigation will be like, "I don't know what you mean, sir." Right?
Yeah,
It would never work. He has to. You can't be corrupt by yourself. Corruption is a
network, a
group.
network.
Yeah, it's a group activity. It's not a solo sport.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So there's gotta be more people. They gotta get them. They gotta catch them all. You feel me?
Yeah, like the
You
Pokemon.
Pokemon gotta catch them all, yo.
Now, all aboard. What do you think on this topic?
I have a couple of different thoughts. For one, if we're talking about the Miami corruption, it goes much deeper than just that one officer. And everyone knows this. There were two Miami-Dade police officers. I shared the link. I don't know if you want to put it on your screen, but there were two Miami-Dade officers that were found protecting drug traffickers to get the shipments in, right?
Yeah.
This is two people at the least. So now we're talking three. And there's probably 500 more. We don't know. Right?
Yeah. But this one is literally from the DR, like straight from the DR. He he was caught doing some operations and helping get them into the US.
But
We don't know. We know for sure he was getting paid to throw a blind eye at the situation and facilitate the transactions.
well,
Now, when it comes to like the United States corruption, that's another topic. But
he was
you
from
know,
Miami.
no, he's from the DR.
But it's going into Miami.
He's going through Miami. Yes.
So what happened? After there was an earthquake, because a lot of people use the route from Haiti to the Bahamas and they would get it in that way. Then there was the earthquake. There were like after 9/11 and all of those different things, they had to find a different route. So who else better than a Dominican, right? That has the access. Of course, there had to be a person with direct connections.
Of course.
So rampant.
Of course. Now I want to welcome Sundown. What's up, Sundown?
Sundown, what's good?
Yo, yo, yo.
Yo.
I just wanted to say, like with the businesses, that's the best way for us to break this cycle
Hmm.
that we're in. We got to start owning our own businesses. We got to
Yeah.
start excelling and bringing the money back to our community. That's the
Yes.
only way that we can break these generational curses that we have
Yes.
and stop depending on other people to supply us what we need. You know what I mean?
Yes. Do you
That's why,
think
like,
do you
go
think
ahead.
that
Sorry.
this whole idea, this concept of, us still being entrepreneurs or solopreneurs at the beginning, by revamping pre-existing businesses, do you think that's a good approach? Do you think it sucks? Do you think that idea works? Like, what's your opinion on that?
I would say that's a good thing, especially say if you have one of those businesses that's been in the community for like 50 plus years. Always lend your expertise to them so that you can help them out. And I mean, think about it. If they've been in business for X amount of years, think about the people that they know. You can network with the people that they know, and you will be able to bring in more people and more businesses by that instead of trying to go against them and compete with them and open your own businesses. Share the wealth.
Definitely. There
That's what I
was
would say.
a business here, a restaurant last year in California that was about to run out of business because of the C-19 crisis. And at first we thought it was the business owner that decided to take all of the employees at the restaurants and make them drivers to keep them employed. And literally they were one of the few businesses that survived without even needing PPP loans, and they continued to deliver to everybody even if you weren't on their vicinity. And it turns out it was an employee that suggested that to the owner, and that employee actually got paid 10% of all the increased earnings because they had a major influx of customers because they were looking for people to deliver them food. So it has
Yeah.
been proven that this actually works. So, with that being said, I think this is a great idea if you have no money, but you still want to venture into business and also get like a taste of how it is. And at the same time, you're giving back to your community.
That
So,
and
go ahead.
a lot of people are afraid of venturing out. Like when they think of owning a business, they think of all the nightmares that you see with people not properly planning and then having to close down. So like opening a business is a scary idea
Yeah.
because you're taking this huge risk that you don't know if it's going to pay off or not. But if you take the time to learn like everything that you need to learn and you connect with the right people,
Hmm.
then it's that much easier.
It
I feel
is.
like when that's one of the reasons why, like, look, there's a reason why every street corner, say like in the inner cities,
Mm-hmm.
when you go to 7-Eleven,
Yeah.
either they're all African or they're Middle Eastern, right?
Mm-hmm.
They all network together. They all help each other out. There is no way that you're gonna have this gas station, this convenience store, this convenience store, and this convenience store. They're all full of Indian people and they don't know each other. They all
Yeah.
know each other
Of
and they
course.
help each other out.
Of
So
course.
where my grandparents live in North Carolina, they're one of my grandparents passed away, but where they're from, uh, there's this barbecue spot. It's called Allen and Son, and at
Mm-hmm.
one time it was the number one barbecue spot in the U.S. and it's been around since like the 70s, the early 70s,
Mm-hmm.
and they do a lot of things behind the scenes. They help
Okay.
a lot of up and coming businesses. They do these grants for a lot of other up and coming businesses, and you wouldn't know it until you actually like look and see that, okay, wow, they funded these people or they came out of pocket for these people. They're helping all of these people. And it's like that's the right thing to do, especially when it comes to bringing money back to the area. You don't want to
Yeah.
be in a competition to where I want to make the most money. I understand the meaning behind it. Yeah, you want to be competitive, but if only one business is doing good and the rest is struggling, everybody loses in the end.
Yes.
But if you can come together and say, hey, this is what I did. These are all the mistakes that I did. I don't want you to make these mistakes. I've been in the game for 50 plus years. You can be as successful as I am in half that time if you don't make these mistakes. So instead of doing this, let me put you up on game. Let me show you how to do this. Let me show you how to do this. Connect with these people. You know,
Definitely.
everybody wins. More money
Yeah.
comes in, more tourists from out of town come in, and more people get hired, and the value of that area goes up
Yes.
versus the property value and everything going down because nobody wants to, go. I'm pretty sure we've all heard of there are certain places that you go to and you lock the door and roll the windows up. Like
Yeah.
that's not how it's supposed to be. But when you share the wealth, everybody wins. More
Yeah.
people come in. There's more business opportunities for people, and yeah, that's how I would do it.
Definitely. I see All Aboard wanted to make a comment. She has some opinions on this topic. All Aboard, what do you think about this topic about making getting into business with $0?
Actually, when you first proposed the question, I was a bit confused, but I can say that I've actually done this, and also Brotep has done this, right? Because it's not without money. I mean, it's without money, but it's not without labor or services. If you have some tangible service you can provide, yes, it's completely possible. I worked in a There was a time when I worked in a pet store, and it was failing, right? Quite frankly, the owner didn't care about his business. I'm really passionate about animals and things like that. So what I started to do, actually, I just like being, I like being in the store, and then I started um, to just help out with things that were like a problem, and then eventually he asked me to work there. I worked with him, and then eventually he asked me to be a partner, right? So um, basically I ended up starting like a grooming business, and that was $0 because I'm using his products, right? I'm getting a cut, and then eventually you can buy yourself a position in a business, right?
Exactly.
And so that I think that's completely possible. And another thing that I would do is, advertise, like help him advertise, help him market, and I was able to actually open my own separate business because of that initial time investment. So
For
yes, I think
sure.
it's completely possible. But I didn't think about what you got me this time because I didn't.
Because look, the thing, I'm a huge fan of Tony Robbins. No, I don't necessarily agree with everything that he believes in, but I mean, I take the good things and just dismiss of the things that I don't agree with. But he said something like a while ago, and before I even thought about how to start getting into business, and he said, it's not the lack of resources, is the lack of our skills on being resourceful. And this is living proof that you can actually venture into business if you really are living either paycheck to paycheck, or doing whatever it is that you're doing and you just want to take the leap. This is a great opportunity because you're not full in, you're not liable for the majority of things, but you can test yourself if you really have what it takes to make a business profitable. Also, you will build clientele, and you also are networking with another business owner that eventually can pitch in and help you with your business whenever you're ready.
Exactly.
There's
And
many
you
things that
can
you can benefit from. Yes, I would like to hear from Brotep and from Jose on this topic.
Bef-
Brotep,
Before you
what do
say
you
that,
think?
before you
Go
say
ahead.
that, before you go, Protest, like it's crazy how like we're talking about constructive things. Like we're not talking about like race. We're not talking about how people should identify. We're not talking about people's sexual orientation or religion or anything like that. We literally got like 10 people in the chat or 10 people watching. But I guarantee you, if we were talking about something negative, we'd have like triple that. It's just
Oh yeah,
crazy
for
how
sure.
people are geared.
People love morbid subjects because that's just what they can relate to. Now, it's like I said, Sundown, in my first stream, I knew coming in, this is not a very, how can I say, interesting for some people. And I understand that because I'm only speaking probably to 10% of the population on these streams, that we talk to. We almost have what, almost like 1,000 people that interact with us, like in different streams and different channels, but only 10% of those will actually engage in what we're talking about. And that's because that's the way the economy works. Unfortunately, not a lot of people are. We were all raised to be employees. We were educated in schools to be employees. Hey, you finish your high school or your GED, you go to college, you get a degree, and then you go and work for somebody else. Now, not a lot of people actually have what it takes to start a business and to actually work and putting all the efforts that it's required for you to prosper. So, yeah, definitely the public that I'm talking to, it's more limited, but it's nice that we can all come together and learn from each other. Now, I see that Radical join in. Radical, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? I hope my mic situation is good. I'm talking to you through my phone.
You
I hope
sound good.
you guys can hear me. All right, cool,
I
cool.
Good
I hear you.
evening, Radical.
Hey, good evening, man. Good evening, Sundown. All aboard, Brotep, Denise. Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be real quick because I'm running diligencia with the girlfriend over here. So
Oh, say hi to Shorty.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
She just waved. She's like, hey. ¿Cómo se dice? What I will say about having a capital to start off a business, um, it's a 50-50, yes and no. Sometimes, yes, you do need capital. There's ways to do it where you could get capital without investing nothing, like, minority loans, federal loans, and stuff like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Also, there's other ways right now due to the advancement of the internet. You don't really need much to actually start to start selling things like digital commerce is a huge thing.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really need anything to basically start to sell things. Like, for example, the workout plans that I got,
Mm-hmm.
those are PDF files. you
Oh,
know
that's
you
cool.
you pay for it, it downloads on your computer or sends it to your email, and you literally can see it through your phone as a PDF file. So those are ways that people could actually do, make money. For example, making beats, um you know having transitions on videos and stuff like that, like video transitions. There's people who actually make money off of that. So
Not only
there's
that, look at media management. Like, for example, let's say tomorrow you reach 1 million subscribers and you're going crazy because those same million people are on your Instagram and you're going crazy with your Twitter and stuff. You can provide services to manage people's social media,
Yeah.
and
Listen,
that.
listen. I want to give a shout out to Blood Moon. I'm not gonna lie. For the past 3 hours, I was holding the purse. I was gonna piss my shorty off because I was gonna leave it on the floor. And you know how Latina women are. You know how Latina
Yes,
women are, women with the purse and the put it on the floor. And go, y'all
that's
wow.
that's bad luck.
Yeah,
That's bad
that's like
luck.
y'all wow superstitious. And I
Yeah.
was I was basically threatening her. I was like, yo, if we ain't leaving in 5 minutes, this bag is gonna be on
Your
the
shit's on the
floor.
floor.
Yeah. And she was like, "Tú no te atreves." You know what I mean? Just but yeah, like there's ways that you can definitely do it. One more way before I go.
Okay.
The street way is get a brick on consignment. Buy a $40 worth of B12 powder. Flip
What?
it, and now you got two bricks.
Oh
You know what
my
I'm saying? Now you got
God.
two bricks.
Oh,
The reason why, the reason why,
Thank
the
God I
reason,
have the
We were just
disclaimer.
the
talking
Thank
about
reason,
God.
Oh
the reason why
Thank
we were
you
just
use
talking
God.
about
B12,
that.
the reason why you use B12 because it burns the same way when you snort it. So I'm just
what the?
saying,
We were
Thank
just talking
God.
about you corrupting the
Look.
So
truth.
so
Thank
so he heard.
God.
So
Now
he
hold
heard.
on. Hold on. Thank God I have the disclaimer going on.
Yep.
oh my
it's
goodness.
Why does
just
it always come back to flipping weight with you,
listen,
radical?
listen. It's just a street way. I'm just saying, there's a legit way, and listen. There's some probably
Yep.
there's some street
Hey,
people that
it's all
listen to us.
business.
Hey,
It's
You
all
know what I'm
listen,
business.
saying? We don't know.
listen.
We got some like local pharmacists right now. My girl is looking at me like, "What the hell are you? What the hell do you know that I don't know?" Anyway, listen. I'm out.
Radical,
I'm out of here.
radical. Before you
What's up?
go, I took your advice, and you're right. Milk does work. So
What
thank
the?
Whoa! All right. So
Hey,
I'm
hey,
out.
hey.
I'm out. I have no idea what she's talking about. I think she's talking about like I think she's talking about like your bones.
Yeah, there
Drinking
you go.
a lot of milk makes your bones strong.
Yep.
I gotta go. I think I'm gonna have to explain to my shorty why I know these things. Bye.
you later.
Oh,
Now, Bro Tab, I did not let you talk on it. What's your take on this whole starting a business with $0 by supporting pre-existing businesses in their ventures?
What I'd say to that is a lot of us think here's where we bring more people in. Sundown, what Sundown go? Here's where we bring the Bochinche crowd back, the Bochinche brigade back. Sundown, black and brown people. We often think and feel that we have to reinvent the wheel, start from scratch. Lots of people from other communities are doing this. They're doing this already. They don't start from scratch. If they know something that their uncle who's starting a business doesn't know, they market that service to that uncle, right? If there's some girl, as a matter of fact, one of the Hispanic women who I met on Facebook who do that stuff, they spend all their time on social media. I don't have time for that stuff. I'm usually drawing, or I'm arranging deals with clients.
Yeah, I
So
put some of your drawings on the screen.
yeah. Now the thing is, this girl, all she does is stay on social media, right? And I'm like, hey, while you're there talking to those people anyway. And the people whose money I want, they're on social media and they're talking. So while you're there, why don't you do this? I'll give you a percentage. And so we made that deal. Now she has a business where she does that for people. She started with me, right? And now she has people. She's trying to drop me as a client too, because then other people are paying her more paper now. But but
No
now she has,
loyalties.
yeah,
No
no loyalty,
loyalties.
yo. Where's the trust? But you know, she does this now for a living, where like artists or whatever they have to market. Since she's in all those groups and all those spaces, she markets them, and then when the money comes in, she takes a cut. So we have to maybe stop thinking we have to reinvent the wheel all the time. And it looks like, I don't want to say it's our people that suffer from this particular shortcoming or way of thinking, but it seems to be a lot of us do. A lot of us do. So that's really my take on that. Like for example, Kamala Harris,
Mhm.
um, she hired someone. All those choices she's been making about talking about Tupac and all that stuff. Give me a second, please.
Mhm. Go ahead.
Talking about Tupac and then wearing those sneakers and all those things.
Mhm.
The the choices that she makes for doing those things, she got those ideas and advice from a woman she hired. That woman it's some white girl who took black studies and hip hop, courses, in college or something like that. And now that woman's telling Kamala what's hip and what's new and what's going on in Black Twitter, what's going on in the Black community, what's popping in the streets. So
That's crazy.
yeah, I saw her Twitter account, and if I find her again, I'll put the link on. But she works for, at least she worked. I don't know now. She's probably out of a job because Kamala's already vice president. But she worked for Kamala when Kamala was
Well, I
running
mean,
for president.
she probably be working for another senator or
Yeah.
somebody
Hmm.
else. Because this is the thing, when you network, I'm gonna when you network, bro, tap, you establish, what people don't understand is that there's power in networking,
Hmm.
because you establish business relationships, and those are the relationships that keep you in business. Doesn't matter, it doesn't matter how much knowledge you have on, or how much money you have in your wallet. Your wit and your brains can make you more profit, and networking can make you more profit than money that you have in your pocket will ever do.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's something that I think people that are starting from zero can actually implement in their lives when it comes to business. I can speak, like, at some point I'm gonna interview my father, because he has had a business for 32 years.
Mm,
And this is something that he used to tell me and my sisters, like, if you guys bring me a client, I will give you 10% of my earnings. And we're
there you
talking
go.
about jobs that were $24,000. So I will make $2,000 just by referring him to somebody,
Hmm.
and then he'll take us to seal the deal, and so that we can see how deals and businesses are made. And that's my first interaction with business, was through my dad, because I learned from him, seeing him do these things and actually supporting his business, because then I bring in new ideas, because I'm more close to like today's generation than he is, and he can
Hmm.
continue his business. That's why he keeps hiring younger people, and that's how he has been in business for 3 decades and some years. So this actually does work. It's just, how willing you are to put in the work, knowing that you're not getting paid at first.
Hmm. Absolutely. A lot of people want quick, immediate satisfaction. They want
Yes.
immediate satisfaction.
Yeah.
That's not how life works.
No, it's not. If it's fast, it will last forever.
Hmm.
Trust me on that. Now I see Jose here. Jose, what's your take on this whole, starting a business from zero, supporting or revamping pre-existing businesses?
To be perfectly honest, I have to confess for a second that when I heard the topic, I'm just thinking, how is that possible? Can you start a business with no funds? But then I start to think, there are ways that you can do so. It's just that you have to be very resourceful. You have to have a clear vision on what type of business that you want to get into. You do have to have some sort of an idea who's going to be your potential clientele. And then you have to be prepared to devote the time needed to get your business off the ground and then your business to grow. Whether it be done virtually through a website, whether it be done through a physical location. Um, I remember in my senior year in college, I was a business major. And I took an advanced course where what we did was there was like 4 or 5 of us. Our job was to prepare a business plan for a bakery in Brooklyn. And so one person dealt with the marketing, one person dealt with the with trying to get the idea with as far as the people and things of that nature. And also there are agencies that will help minorities create a business, and that could be a possible resource. I mean, in New York City, we actually have an agency called Small Business Services. What they do is they try to help individual, many of them Black and brown people, to create their own business.
So
Can I?
so basically it's, but you know what I'm getting, Jose? This is a way of, I would say this idea of, supporting other businesses and also starting your own business venture through their business is basically a transitional employee. That's the way
Mhm.
I see it, because you will still have the concept that we were raised in and educated in, without, having the donkey mentality of, just earning the minimum wage. You could be, you're basically working as an employee because you're working under somebody. However, you have the flexibility to stretch your business muscles into ownership,
I want
True.
to
which is,
mention
Exactly.
something that
True.
yeah,
some
Like,
not everyone went to
if you
school. Sorry.
And
you can go.
one thing you mentioned, Denise, that one thing that baby boomers have a problem with is we're not always that tech savvy when it comes to apps. I
exactly.
mean, I'm not, and you know me, I'm going to keep it real. I mean, you have people in my generation that are still struggling just to do emails. Now, imagine getting into social media and doing all your own personal businesses through apps. I mean, and sometimes people of my generation, we can be fixated on certain things. And sometimes it's a challenge for us to try to learn something new.
Definitely, definitely. It's like
Um,
us, for example. Look at how we're giving you guys content, but something that we use, the majority of us, is systems like StreamYard. StreamYard facilitates for us to do live streams and be able to communicate with you guys through YouTube and also with you guys individually. But they provide a service. They're basically a middleman, and you pay them a fee, a monthly fee, to actually be able to provide this live stream platform for you guys to call in. And that's a service that did not existed 5 or 6 years ago. It just
That
did
is,
not. And
and
that
that
it's
is,
it's it's just looking for how to solve problems. I think that's the whole business thing. The whole business principle, I'm sorry. It's being able to solve
I
problems for
think Real
people.
Deal is in the background. He's in the back.
Oh, let me see. Yeah, I didn't saw he was
yeah, it's in the back.
below.
Before Real Deal goes, I wanted to mention
Go
that
ahead.
not everyone went to school and learned to be a worker, because one of the first lessons I learned about business is when they give you these boxes of candy, right? They give you boxes of candy in New York
Hmm.
City anyway, and you
Hmm.
can you take candy home, you sell it, and you're supposed to return the money back to these people. But in order to do that, you have to be very resourceful because everyone
Yeah.
is selling candy, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So one thing that I did when I got the candy is I ate all of it. My whole family, we just ate the candy. But then I said, let me craft a plan to be able to recoup this money, which
Yeah.
was, you know, I asked for another box, right? Unfortunately, I was still a child and I still loved candy, so I ate the box as well.
what
Um,
child wasn't?
I don't understand the concept of giving candy to children, but what I did was I doubled up. I got I sold the next candy for double the amount, and it worked, and everything worked out fine. But that was my introduction to business, because you have to be able to convince store owners that you can sell there. You have to convince people they should buy from you. It's that I think that was my first introduction into business on a personal level,
Yeah,
right?
it was a transitional. It's like I said, it's the transition from being an employee to actually stretch and flex those business muscles. I see two sundowns. Sundown has a twin today.
If I can,
Now,
if I can
go,
chime in
go
for a
ahead.
second.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. One thing is very important to be successful in business. Um, Good people skills. I
True.
mean, there have been times when I visited businesses where where the staff treated me very well, And I've been to businesses where the staff trying to be very crappy. And what, you know, the fact of the matter is, you are representing the business. So therefore, if you are unable to distribute, to show good people skills, what you're doing is not only hurting yourself, but you're hurting your business as well.
Definitely, definitely. And I see Real Deal here. Real Deal, how you doing? What do you think about the topic
Hear
that's
me?
been discussed? Do you think, yeah, we can hear you. Do you think that people can start, their business venture with $0 by revamping pre-existing businesses?
So
Real
pretty
Deal.
much you're a marketing. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, so I would say marketing to businesses when it comes to the old brick and mortar style, like old auto repair. The first time I ever had a client, I pretty much said I can be able to generate. I know Facebook, so I can be able to have a location target demographic where I can target people from 35 beyond, and then and also have all the numbers, emails put into a data list, and I can retarget people and follow up with people and set up a system like that. So when it comes to that, yes, but you have to be able to have understanding of marketing and sales and understanding of how to be able to psychologically follow up with somebody and get your customer
Yeah,
promotional
definitely.
codes
One
or any
thing,
type of
one
discount
thing
offers.
one thing that people need to understand, you don't need necessarily to put money. We have heard that you need money to make money, and that's not necessarily true. When it comes to business, one thing that I have seen a lot is people doing like, hey, I can start a business. For example, I saw probably like 2 years ago, I saw this young dude starting a furniture store right across another furniture store that has been there for 15 years. And he's like, no, my business plan is that I'm going to market it cheaper. But in reality, you look at his store today, it's closed down. It did not work out because he did not know how to market his store. And I believe that if he would have just gone to this business that was about to go out of business, and market his skills or whatever he was bringing into, without absorbing all the cost of labor and rent for the location and products and stuff, he would have made it better because he had the time and he was willing to learn what he needed to be learned. So yeah, definitely you have to have some knowledge and a plan more than anything, like for any business, even if you're going to
Negotiation
start your own
skills. It
business.
takes
Yeah.
That's why, like,
because that's going to
if you've ever
negotiate skills to
noticed.
be able to come off to somebody.
Go ahead, Sundown.
Oh no, I was just gonna
It
say
takes time
like
for
that's why
somebody
like
to be able to understand how to be able to negotiate with somebody that's in business like that, because that's literally cold calling.
Yeah,
It'd be in the
basically
same
it's like cold
format as cold
calling.
calling. Well, it's
Yeah,
not finished.
basically it's cold calling. But however, that's like when you're gonna raise capital and you go to like a venture capitalist, for example, and you ask and you have to do your pitch, for example, and you have to network with these people and convince them that your product somehow is better than what's on the market because everything has been done. You have to have those skills to actually talk them into your business. But this way, you have really nothing to lose and everything to gain. So it's more like a secure way for people to get into business and see if they really want to do this for a living, which is what I'm teaching here. Because I've gotten a lot of people, a lot of the people that watch my streams that either email me or DM me on Instagram, and they always ask me like, hey, how can you make this when you start from zero, if you're just a minimum wage earner and stuff like that, and this is a perfect way, I would say, to start from nothing. So
um
Sundown, I see that you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
Oh no, that's like when you were talking about like not competing with the other people, like
Mhm.
just like taking what they give you as far as knowledge goes. So like if you
Mhm.
go to convenience stores,
Yeah.
and I bring up convenience stores a lot. A lot of these convenience stores are chains owned by the same people, which is why like if you go to one, they don't all sell the same thing
Yeah.
because they know that okay, these are hot sellers. These are what people are looking for. So with this store, we'll target more towards what the people actually spend their money on. And if they don't, or if they come across the people that don't really spend their money on like the expensive stuff, then we have this store, and this store has like the other necessities that they can come and get. But they have their, I like to call it the breadwinners, like those convenience stores with like, say, they might be next to a gym, right? So
Yes.
those convenience stores, they tend to have like pre-workout. They tend to have like protein, like the little muscle milk, things like that that they normally wouldn't have at say a convenience store that's a little ways from a gym. You know what I mean? Like they tweak it. So
Yeah.
I know that I can sell this here and people can buy it because look at where it's at.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily have that in a store that's like 5 miles away because nobody's really going to be buying like protein shakes or like little pre-made pre-workouts, stuff like that.
Yeah, and on
Get it?
that, yeah, and on that topic, it goes to what Real Deal was saying about, marketing. One of the first things that I would say for people that think this is too complicated, marketing basically is evaluating your surroundings in a 25-mile radius and see the people that lives around that business and what they need, their needs basically will
Mm-hmm.
be. You have to be able to predict what they
Mm-hmm.
need and provide it for them. That's the
Yeah.
basic, I would say, the basics of marketing.
So shall
So
we?
And like if you the convenience stores next to like the neighborhoods, say like if you got an apartment complex and then if you walk outside that apartment complex, there's a gas station at the end of the road. They tend to have like the oodles and noodles. They tend to have the cereals. They tend to have the things that a person could walk and get a meal. Where in a further out location where say like a gym is or say there's restaurants and stuff like that, they wouldn't have that there. They would have something else that would grab people's attention.
definitely, definitely. It's like if you're close to a bar, provide like, very affordable snacks for like when people get drunk and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
also have provide the service of like, hey, we will either, have like a hub for Ubers or Lyft or stuff like that, or, if you're that desperate and you see that, there's a store that has like a lot of parking, but during those hours is empty, you can provide that service for like, I don't know, $5 the parking. And sometimes these bars don't have parking. You can actually propose that to the business and say, hey, you know what, I would do this on the weekends. It's many, like I said, options are, unlimited. You can definitely come up with ideas. You're gonna get no's like you will get in any business that you're going to start, but you're also gonna get yes. So I would say just stretch out and start providing businesses with your knowledge and your services and take advantage that we're still the youth basically, or quote unquote the future.
and
So
that's
use
the
that to
those
your
are the
advantage.
businesses that do well. Those
Yes,
are the businesses that do well. They're willing to sit down and talk and not be in, hey, it's my money, I want my money, I'm gonna survive. You're on your own. It's nah, look, this demographic they like there's a lot of people that like to party, so we sell alcohol here. If you sell alcohol, you'll sell out. If you sell this, you're next to a gym, bring this and this in, and you'll make more money that way. That's how
yeah.
you make the money.
Look
Not
at what.
necessarily a competition.
No, not necessarily selling your product. Is basically buy products. When I was in college, I used to work for a fast food. And, I remember that one of the things that I did, because they sent me, after they trained me to become a manager, they sent me to the store that was in shambles. And the first thing that I did was study the other fast foods that were around me that were crowded while my fast food was empty. And I realized that what people were looking for as I started talking to customers is like, no, it's just because your restaurant is so slow. And I said, okay. Then I went back to my personnel and I was like, hey, we have to work on, productivity and how we're fast. If we keep the time under 2 minutes and a half from when the person comes and order and they leave with their food, I will give you either theater tickets in the weekend, or I will give you $10, or I'll buy you your lunch, or whatever you can give. It's things that you have to learn from the heart of the business, actually, to come out and serve the public that you're exposed to every day. And then after that, you just promote that service. That's the infrastructure or the skeleton of marketing. So
Because as long as you can be
definitely,
able to provide the management of stuff, you will always be needed.
yes,
You will always
And
be
definitely.
needed because they can defer to you.
that's one thing that I could say about Atlanta, is the fact that in Atlanta, a lot of the black businesses, they connect with each other, and they sit down and they'll discuss like demographics and what areas to put a business in. Um, and that's how they consolidate it. And that's why Atlanta does so well as far as black entrepreneurship. Everybody knows everybody,
A lot of
and
our
everybody helps
fraternity,
everybody.
Definitely.
Yeah,
Look at what Blood Moon said.
our
She
fraternity
says
brother.
the 99-cent store around me sell a lot of Dominican products. Yes, Blood Moon, because there's a lot of Dominicans in your
That's a
area
smart,
that.
that's a smart thing to do.
No,
yeah,
exactly. That's how they get your money. And because everything
That's
is
very
quote
self-aware.
unquote 99-cent stores is at 99 cents, definitely people will go in because it's like, hey, it's cheap and it's relatable to me. So I will go there because I know I can get my products. Another thing that I would like to add to that is, have you ever gone to a business that you like something, either if it's a food item or any other item that you used to buy, and then they stop carrying one day when you go and they're like, oh, we're out of it, and then the second day we're out of it, and you realize, hey, they probably don't have it and go somewhere else. That's another
yeah,
opportunity for marketing, approaching these companies and say things like, hey, I've noticed that this is a product that a lot of people buy, and I can provide you with, if you let me analyze your inventory, you can analyze what goes out the most, and they run out because they don't know how to order, probably, according to the public that they serve. And you can provide a service of doing like a revision of their inventory and say, hey, you have to boost your order in this area and diminish this area because you're barely selling this and it's going, to waste. And adjust their investment, but maximizing the profit that way. There's many
Well,
services you
that
can
that's
provide these
managerial
businesses.
accounting.
Yeah,
That's
definitely. It's like
managerial accounting,
yeah,
because when you're talking about inventory and figuring out what comes and comes out, that's literally accounts as receivable and accounts payable, just on a more integrated, how can I say, a supply chain type matter.
yeah, for sure.
That's
But
all supply chain.
of course, but
bro.
that's a
Speaking of
service.
supply chain,
Go ahead.
speaking no, speaking of supply chain. So in 2012, like when you had the Starbucks boom, because Starbucks has always been around, but like 2012, 2013 is when the chains really started taking off. Um, I had a couple of friends that I was trying to get like, hey, let's invest $12,000 into this chain on Starbucks, and we could start out with one Starbucks, and if it takes off, then we can open up another chain. And all we needed was like 12 grand to get in on it, and nobody wanted to put in 12 grand with me. And it was like I could put in two, you could put in two, we all could put in two, boom. Nobody wanted to put the money in with me,
Short-sighted
and
people.
then
That seemed
it
like a
took
good
off.
deal. That seemed like a good deal.
Yeah,
No,
you were
no
dealing with
red,
Look,
no
short-sighted
it
red
took
people.
tape. Was
off.
it?
Yeah.
Was there any
It
red
took
tape
off.
sundown?
Like
Was there
there's
any
like
type of?
seven. Go ahead. Sorry,
Was it an easy
I
entry?
keep cutting you off.
Easy entry. You didn't have to be a accredited investor.
No,
You didn't
because
have
they
to be a accredited
already like
investor because you a lot of the times. Okay.
I wanted to speak
yeah.
on that really quickly. A lot of other communities actually take advantage. We've talked about this before. They take advantage of pooling their resources pulling their money together so that you can really just take out one block at a time. It's harder when it's just one person, but if you have like 10 people, right? You can, and everyone has 10%. You can actually take over these blocks, and then you can build, restaurants. You can build your businesses. But I think a lot of
Yeah.
um, Latin Americans and also like African Americans don't really focus on that because it's like it's everything for themselves, you know.
No, not that. It's just they're looking at what you have to put in at the beginning, and they're not looking at the long run. But so it was a couple of my friends that were like they had all the paperwork and everything done, which they just needed some people to put in, and it was like, yo, if this takes off at Starbucks, man, look, it's two things that an area is getting ready to get gentrified. Is if they put a Whole Foods and they put a Starbucks there, and uh, nobody wanted to put the money in with me, so they ended up getting some other people to put the money in, and now they have like 7 different Starbucks chains.
Oh
So it was like
wow.
one Starbucks chain. If we would have put the money in, we could have had a stock in 7 different Starbucks chains, but nobody wants to
Definitely.
help me.
That's crazy. That goes to show, sundown, like how people think nowadays. We're very like Brotep said, we're very short-sighted when it comes to the things that we do. A lot of people are the classic that I always say, look, that's
I
what
gotta get that clip. I gotta get that clip.
that's what a lot of people, you know, think when it comes to business and investing in their future. They're donkeys. They don't want to, putting the effort, putting the money, because they probably think, it's a lot of money that I'm putting down, but they're not seeing the profit. And
Yeah,
it goes back to the education. We are educated into being employees, not owners.
yeah, and it's
And
like they all want this. They all want to have the well. You put the money in, and if you make money, then I'll invest with you. They want to see a person put money in and make something first before they invest their money. And it's
yeah, and
like
at
that's
that
not how
time,
it works.
no, at that time already, like, what you need them for, like,
Yeah.
Real
It was
deal
like
is
if I put in $500 and then or if I put in 5 grand and then now my stock is like 500,000, I'm gonna go after somebody that's got the same amount of money.
for sure,
At
for
this
sure.
point, you don't have enough money to even invest with me. But
Excuse
that's
me.
how a lot of people do. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut in. I mean, one problem is many people have a lack of vision and they cannot see the big picture. They only can think of the now. Now, I have a question. This concept of not needing money to create a business, is this a new concept? And the reason why I asked this question, because when I was in college as a business major, we were taught that you have to have capital, 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 capital. And this whole concept, that you don't necessarily need capital to create business. It sounds like a new concept. Is it a new concept?
What, that you need to drop
That
capital
you
to
don't that
actually.
you don't necessarily need money, but you can, you can use resources to create a business. Is this a new concept?
um I would say, I mean, that you have to drop money to actually make money.
Mhm.
I don't think this is a new concept. This has been the oldest concept forever. It's just that people are not paying attention on how business deals are done, or probably because they feel like it's too complicated. A lot of people that look into business, they will wish they could, but they shy away from doing them because they don't understand it and they think it's too complicated. They don't take that leap, Jose. I don't know if that
Okay.
answers your question.
Okay. Well, that's how you made it perfectly clear. But you have to have You have to have the vision, you have to have the discipline, and you have to have the determination
Sure.
um, to stick to it. Because unfortunately, you have people who want to get rich quick, but the problem is there's not too many opportunities to get rich quick. I mean, and if you do get the money quickly, you go to blow it quickly because unfortunately, when people get a large amount of money quickly,
Yeah.
they
They
don't have
withdraw
the
it.
discipline, to make their money work, and they just buy stuff. I mean, stuff that that they don't need. I mean, I actually fear people. Some people, whatever happened if they got a large amount of money, they may not have the discipline that they need, like to invest the money, put away
Hmm.
the money, and things of that nature.
Yeah, for
That's
sure,
why
for
you
sure.
see so many people that win the lottery go broke because they
Yes.
Yeah.
make all that money or they get all that money and they never taken a financial class
No.
and they blow it and like 5 years later they might have won $120 million and now they're homeless.
Yeah, for
They
sure,
went
for
and
Well,
sure.
bought
sundown,
all that stuff that they didn't need.
California winner, like the last California lottery winner, he made 275 million, and he's down to his million. Yeah, when it
Yeesh.
comes to financial literacy and the ability to, how can I say, diversify your wealth and to be able to preserve it, yeah, that's a very complex thing because you're dealing with people that are lawyers of sharks that are pretty much out to get your money. They know that you do not understand what power of attorney is, where I can legally everything that you got and sign his name without you even
Mhm.
being there. That's how athletes
That-
get gotten all the
Yeah.
time. Multi-million dollar
That's
athletes. You got Kevin Garnett, $70 million rich, going pretty much cussing out the lawyer.
mhm.
I think
Definitely,
that
That's what happened with
definitely.
Ice Cube. Ice Cube was like that. It was like,
what
nah, man, that's my money.
what you were saying, Jose, I don't think it's a new concept because I got my degree in business just a few years ago. So I don't think it's a new concept. But I think that it's a different theory because it's not what you're taught. You're taught to just follow the structure that's already in place, right? Capitalism and having capital. That's what you're taught. But I think it's kind of like a guerrilla tactic, like that can be productive for the average person because you don't really need to have capital, like Denise was saying, but you do need to have leverage, right? You have to have some sort of skill, like a skill
Yeah,
set.
you have to develop definitely your and I would say because I muted everybody because yeah, like Blood Moon said, there was a background noise, but to be honest with you, I will redirect people to what I said on my first stream. uh Go and get in contact with your local SBA office. They have SBA offices all across the US and in Puerto Rico. Get into that, get in touch with your SBA office, and they offer free classes for building your business plan. And you can start this kind of business, and they don't charge anything. They're completely free. You can learn how to design your own you know business plan with very small projections of 3 years, like a 5% increase or stuff like that. They will teach you how to actually do these things. So like I said, it's just getting those resources in case you have not gotten the education, or you really don't want to make the classic mistakes that every business owners makes at the beginning. Get in contact with your SBA office and start from there. If it's too intimidating for you, start understanding the numbers and how they work, and how can you do certain things with the many classes the SBA offices offer. And they will even connect you to lenders in case you need to. They will connect you with different places that can lend you through the SBA. And also, I will be talking eventually how to fix your credit if you have a bad credit. um, this is a topic that's very interesting for so many people. They have messaged me with it, Now, I would say if even if you don't have the credit right now, go get those classes, sit down, analyze your options, build up a business plan, and put yourself out there. If you fail, you failed. You're supposed to fail. Don't be scared of it. You know, you
Just
just
write it
have,
off.
yes, yes. You're gonna have
Just write
major,
it
yeah,
off.
but you're gonna have losses, real though. You know this. We have had. If I only were to share with people how much money I have lost taking risks, people would not, definitely jump into it. You're gonna lose money, okay? Business is business. That's why I always say,
You know, like how?
and go ahead.
No, no, no. Sorry. Go ahead. I keep cutting you off. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, okay. So yeah, I would say, my heart is for my family. In business, there's no heart. You have to be heartless. And
Mhm.
you have to be able to go in with that mentality that you're gonna lose, that people are gonna steal from you, that people are gonna do whatever the hell they want. Your employees will do that as soon as you walk out the door. You're going to have people that are going to do exactly the opposite of what you ask them to do. That's part of business. And you have to be used to that because you were an employee. You have seen other employees or your coworkers do whatever the hell they want once the boss is not around.
Mhm.
Now, that comes with the burn of business, but there's also so many positive things that, owning stuff and owning your own source of income as a business owner, there's a lot of benefits that come with it,
Mhm.
and you should not shy yourself away from this experience simply because you don't understand it or because you're too scared or because you think you're too old or too young. There's no age for you to start businesses. There's no, I mean, after 18, of course, but
Yeah.
after 18 years of age, there's no limits. You actually can start from nothing and build yourself from there.
Look
If
at
I may,
Master P.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Sundown.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. I'm talking
Go
too
ahead,
much. I'm
Jose.
sorry.
Go
Okay,
ahead.
I apologize. But you know what's sad? This is a very good topic to discuss, and unfortunately, certain people tend to gravitate, lean towards the negative topics. This is a very excellent topic, and the fact of the matter is, um, if you were to go to try to find a professional to help learn this information, you may have to spend a lot of money. We're getting a good education tonight. The seven of us that's not only the seven of us that's on on the call, but the people that's listening in. We're getting some very useful information, and it's a shame not everyone values it.
Yes, it is a
Yeah,
shame.
yeah. Well,
But look,
I don't want that much competition. I'm glad the right people are here.
nah. But
You feel
look,
me? I'm glad the right people are here.
that's why there's so few. That's why there's so few moguls out there that's making money.
Yup.
Is because
Thank you, Sundown.
Man,
when they
bro,
were
Yup.
out
you need to start
studying,
making NFT.
and yeah, like when they were out staying up working 16 hours, 17 hours, and then studying for 3 more hours, getting like 5 hours of sleep. Everybody else
Yup.
was out party. Now they
Hmm.
Yes,
making the money. They don't have to work anymore. And those same people that weren't paying attention, now they got to work two jobs.
now.
And now the
So
party's at their house,
yeah,
Luis, I have a
yeah.
at their big ass mansion.
I have
I
a
wanna
question
I
for
But
wanna
yeah,
give
it's
a
like
Well,
shout
people need
out.
to
I
understand
wanna
what trade lines are.
before
'Cause a
we
lot of this stuff can
continue.
be done by trade lines.
Before we continue, I want to give a shout out to Rakim for his donation. Thank you very much.
All right.
And also to Blood Moon because I saw she donated after I finished my stream. So thank you, Blood Moon. And, thank you, Rakim, for that donation. I appreciate it. And like I said, I believe, like I said, I'm going to start something in 2 weeks. We're going to take Latin explaining to the streets. we're
yeah.
gonna
Well,
um,
Interesting.
we're gonna do
to be
remote
honest,
stuff, and we're gonna ask people on the ground actually what they think about their possibilities of doing business in different topics. So stay tuned for that. I'm gonna add a new day of my streams, so that you guys can see actually what people think about these topics and why they shy away, because that's something that interests me with my community, and I want to do it so that people can actually come here and actually get the knowledge that they wish they had been taught in school. and they can start, moving towards prosperity. So definitely, yeah. I mean, we don't need dissenters or people talking about the same topics all the time. Now, I appreciate the fact that yeah, I can go on other streams and share my thoughts on what I think about politics and social issues. Now, I wanted to do something different, like business wise, because I realized that if we don't have money, you don't have the power.
Mm-hmm.
And look at what Blood Moon said. Denise needs to promote her channel whenever she visits others on YouTube. Yeah, definitely. Um, now, Blood Moon, I have done that on other panels, and I have gotten people that you will not believe will tell me, yes, I appreciate what you're doing. I'm definitely gonna, drop in and chat with you. And, once we get past all of our differences, we can get down to business. And they actually do find my content very interesting somehow. By the way, it's crazy to me because next week I'm gonna get on the topic of women in business because as I make more videos, I have realized that 90% of my public are males, and it's concerning that we see um, less and less women actually interested in business ventures. And it's
I
something
like
I,
what
that
you
I
said.
would disagree. I would disagree. I think there's like 7 of my clients that I sent over to you, Denise, are all women. One of them
I
is
know that,
like male. I think it's a
but
different paradigm. I don't know. Maybe just me.
no, I think it's basically okay. I'm gonna say it like this: when it
Because the
comes to
LLC filing
business.
said most LLCs in the pandemic. That's
Yeah,
like
in the
statistical
in
record.
the pandemic, they started LLCs. Now, how many women actually in 5 years? If you look at the stats, out of the 100% of women that go into business, unfortunately, down below 20% keep those businesses going for a decade or even 5 years, which is really sad. And most of these businesses are not necessarily in STEM, science, technology, engineering. It's not on those campuses that we wish women would get more into. As a matter of fact, as I've said before, I'm a sound engineer. When I was in college studying sound engineering, there was only 3 girls, including myself, in studies, and 36 males. And I'm like, how is it that we don't even venture in this? Is it because it's too intimidating, or is because we don't understand it, or we think we're going to fail, or we don't have the proper education? It's something that's really worth looking into. And I wish more women will have, the mentality of risking more and getting into business, because I think we can definitely have a nice outcome if we start doing this more often.
Mm-hmm.
So
Well,
I
I think the lack of I think the lack of
Sorry.
understanding of when it comes to underwriting and lending process has to be one thing. Is when it comes to the lending process, there are certain lenders that'll lend to you based off the asset, not necessarily because of your um, personal or business credit.
yeah, no, for sure, for
There are certain
sure.
lenders. There are certain lenders that I manage to do wholesale real estate with, and they pretty much do transactional funding, where say if you don't have the money to buy the asset, you can lock up the con for 65,000 and probably in a vacant home or probably inner city hoods, and find a developer that wants to be able to build upon it. So you assign it to the developer for a $10,000-15,000 margin, and the title company will pretty much will do the closing when you send them all the documents. So that's literally how the benefit of gentrification in the grand scheme of things, because people say gentrification is gentrification that. It can be a problem when you don't benefit off of it. But if you're helping developers, you can actually win off the margin because they're going to develop those areas anyway. You're
Look,
just
look
delaying
at
the
look at
process.
Okay, real deal. Do you
look
have a
at
channel?
Matter of fact, get to me by my email, man. Creditbuilder475 at gmail.com.
drop it in the chat. I will highlight it for people. I always do it because I
Okay.
always direct people to you. Now
Why
I
don't I
want to
have a
highlight
ranch,
what
Denise?
what I have to give you one.
So
I
Marina's got
promise I will get
it
into
for
it
me.
and I'll give you one. Now look at what Blood Moon is saying. She's like, yes, I was going to start a business 11 years ago and was intimidated, so I got lazy. I don't think you're lazy, Blood Moon. I think these things are, made intimidated based on what the world around us tell us as women. I'm gonna share an experience myself, even though it's a little bit off topic. When I was about to finish school and go into an internship, I wanted to intern for a man that used to do the audio for the Senate in Puerto Rico. And out of all the people that were promoting their services to do internships with them, he was the one that caught my attention. So when I approached him and I asked him openly in school, at the conference, I was like, I want to intern for you. He said that unfortunately, even though he believes women have a better ear for audio and sound, he did not mentor women. And that was like a slap in
What
the
the hell?
face for me. Yes. He told
What?
me straight in the face, I do not do internships for women. I came here to recruit more men to work with me, because women were more prone to either get pregnant, or they will complain about I have to take care of
Well,
the
I heard those
kids or
excuses.
whatever.
Yeah, I heard those excuses before.
And
Yeah.
I was like, I was so pissed. And then at that time, I don't know if you guys are familiar with what a radio promoter is, but there was a radio promoter over there his name was Andres Cole. And he said, you know what? I have no problems with mentoring women. If you want to mentor with me, I might not be the same, but I will teach you how to sell music to radio stations. And I
Hmm.
interned with him. And because I was working at radio at the time, I started in 2009. I went with him and learned how to promote, certain things. And he connected me to a marketing agency that actually gave me a job. It was called Lupito, Iliana, and Howie. And that's how I learned marketing. So at the end of the day, this dude that used to make sounds for the Senate is still doing it, but he never grew from there. Andres Cole right now is
Hmm.
working for Ricky Martin, Daddy Yankee, Peanut Records, like Nati Natasha and stuff like that. And I was like, I'm glad that, he did not mentor women, because I would have never grown. I would have never
Yeah.
learned marketing. I would have never learned a lot of things. But this is something that I don't want any woman to think that, we are not going through this stuff. In reality, yes, there are a lot of men that are closing doors for us on purpose. So Blood Moon, you're never too old to actually start something. You can still start it. I believe you can. I don't think you're lazy. I believe, like I said, it's the world around us sometimes tries to intimidate us a little bit into going for business.
Excuse me, can I chime in for a second?
Yeah, go ahead, Jose.
Unfortunately, certain people lack vision, and certain people have misconceptions what women can do. I mean, women can do virtually anything a man can do, given the opportunity. And sometimes, and many times, they can do it better than men. It's just that for whatever reason, certain men has this concept, well, a woman cannot do this, a woman cannot do that. Look at the fact of the matter is, women throughout history had achieved many things. Why? Because they were able to have a vision, and they were determined, and they didn't give up.
Well, Jose, you also got to take into account the good that women could have done, but were turned away because they were women
Yup.
in the past.
Yeah.
True,
Like,
Yes.
true.
you know, everything is this is a man's world. Women can't do this. Stay at home. Your role is to raise the kids. Blah blah blah.
Okay, okay.
And think
And
of all the
right?
opportunities that women could have advanced. Women could have advanced marketing. They could have advanced uh, television. They could have advanced just business overall, but they never got the chance because they were women.
True.
Which
Yeah.
is what the
It's
feminist,
also
the
fear.
original feminist movie, the original, I said movie, the original feminist movement was to break that, to say, no, give us a chance. We can work. We don't want anything special. Let us go out there. Let us get jobs. Let us pull our own weight.
Mhm.
And it's like people still have this notion that women are only delegated to do one thing and one thing only.
Yeah, and not
Like
only that, to be honest, piggybacking from what Olabor is saying, that women are the main consumers of music. Yes, we are. When you compare, out of every 10 women, 9 consume music, and men, only 7. So definitely, yes, we're the biggest market, but it's because of our appreciation for sound. And I mean, I could get definitely into the whole audio thing, but it will get too technical. But basically, yes, our ears somehow, because women are more prone to symmetry and other things when it comes to music and sound per se, we have, quote unquote, a better ear, which is why we not understood what he was saying when he's like, I don't mentor women.
Yeah, that
But
it's called
I'm
fear. It's called fear.
yes,
Like
one
in
of
definitely.
the
about
only,
5 years, you'd have had his job. That's what that's about.
but the
Yes,
thing
and
is
not to
as
be
well,
messed up, not to be
women
messed
have
up, but go ahead, Olabor, go ahead.
Thank you. Women have lose their hearing at a lower rate, and also the high pitch hearing, because high pitch hearing, I can still hear things that you're supposed to lose when you're like like the whistle sounds if you do an ear test that you're supposed to lose when you're like 20. Women keep it for much longer, so we do pick up on the nuances, and not just that. I wanted to mention that the funniest thing I've ever heard, and also the one of the most discouraging things, is that as when I started to become my when I went to school to become a chef, I was actually told women don't belong in the kitchen, and that was what was it just threw me off. Like they always tell us, go to the kitchen, right?
Yes.
Make a sandwich, go make something to eat. But then I was told I don't belong in the kitchen, and
That's
most professional
insane.
chefs are men, right?
Yes.
And so it's a very competitive arena. It's very
Yeah, yeah. I don't think, look, there's the best chef, even though that might be up for discussion for some people, but the best chef right now we have is Chef Ramsay, with the most Michelin stars, I believe. And even him, you know, he endorses women. I saw one of the seasons of Hell's Kitchen where he paid for a woman's education because she had so much talent. And he's like, it's such a shame that, nobody gave you this opportunity. So I'm going to pay personally for your education so you can come back here and win this shit. And he mentored that woman, and that woman is an amazing chef. I don't think men that are secure in what they're doing, it goes back to what Brotep is saying, they have no fear of competition. As a matter of fact, I think men are more competitive and they thrive in competition. And they should allow us to, venture in these areas if we're willing to do so. Pamela, welcome. She says, I think we're seeing a world where women are taking over, but the women in these positions are proving some of these men right. Yeah, definitely. There, let's not, okay, even though we're drifting away from the topic, but let's not make this as they're not some women that are giving up. Yet they are women out there that are killing it, and that they have the capacity. And sometimes, like Blood Moon said before, they are intimidated by this nasty world that is not, fair.
Sorry,
Let's
Black
just say that.
Rose.
However, go ahead. Give me 1 second, Terrell. However, we also have women in these positions that unfortunately are letting us down because they're not representing us as they should. So I agree with you, Pamela. There's both. There's women that are willing to do the job and work all those 18 hours a day that we're supposed to work when we're starting, and there's women that actually don't. Go ahead, Terrell.
I wanted to ask that on your channel, you're gonna be helping people how to start a business and make money.
Come again?
Yes. You're gonna be helping people how to start a business or make money on your channel, Denise.
Yes, yes. I'm helping
That's
people to
Oh
that's
make
yeah,
good.
money.
oh yeah, that's definitely
That's
needed.
good. I can use an extra
Definitely.
side of income.
Yeah, definitely. This is literally, even though it's called Latin explaining, it's my approach as a Latina and for mostly, Latinos in America to prosper, but any minority can actually learn from what I'm sharing here, and even if you're not a minority, if you're thinking of starting, business and how to become more financially stable for not only for you but for your future generations, definitely jump in and share your thoughts or learn from us. I'm still learning. I'm not like a business guru, but I can share my knowledge with you guys, and sometimes you guys can come here and also teach me a thing or two. Like, definitely we're all learning in this experience, so you're more than welcome to come here and learn from me what I have learned for myself. Now, I wanna say to Pamela said, I'm for women and all that we do, but I do not subscribe to when we can do everything a man can do. That is why we're having some of this hyper masculine women trying to do everything. Yeah, there are certain things like I will never engage in construction. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, that's one thing I cannot do. I love doing DIYs in my house. If you ask my fiance, I have a failed, a failed floating shelf experiment right now in my bathroom, but I still
Keep your receipt
enjoy
so they can
doing
write
it.
that off too. Because you can write
I
off, I believe, up to $12,000 of home
hmm
expenses and repairs. So keep them receipts from Lowe's. Tell them
Okay,
to
I
keep the
will. I
receipts from
will.
Lowe's.
I would definitely add that up. And right now, we're doing home improvements, but I'm letting him more build stuff because I realize that's something I cannot do as a woman. Okay, my fiance, it's way more able and stronger than me, and he can do things I cannot do. I can just tell him where I want them, and that's all the information he needs, and he takes care of it. But there's some things like engineering that you can still get in, and you can get into science, you can get into different things, even sound, what I went to school for, and still thrive in those things that are actually needed. Sound is one of the things that keeps on growing, and it's expected to grow 5 times its size in the next 8 years, and yet we're still not seeing at least the 40% of the population woman in sound right now. We're seeing overwhelmingly it's men. 90% of this world is men driven, so it's
Yeah,
it's a shame.
do any of you guys know anything about radios, like radios, satellite communication, setting up frequencies, low frequencies, ultra high frequencies? Any of you know anything about that?
Yes, I went to school for sound engineering.
Yes. So,
So go ahead.
go ahead. No, that's one of the most open career fields because nobody goes into. So, like my plan is to when I retire is to either go work for one of the alphabet companies or go contracting. And it's like you write your own ticket because there's nobody that does frequency programming.
Definitely.
So it's
Another
like,
thing that people don't get into, you'll be surprised. When I was in college, one of the things that they taught us a lot is acoustics. And that is something that it's so open because even people that are developers are now looking to us sound engineers that have a lot of knowledge in insulation and how to float a room, on how to properly insulate buildings and apartment complexes and stuff. So definitely, like I would say, not to promote like my career per se, but if women want to get into this, sound is one of the best careers that you can get into right now. And yeah, you will be required to learn a lot of mathematics. I'm not gonna lie. You're still going through the engineering phase. You'll be required to learn a lot about electricity and cables and how to work with them and repair and but overall I don't regret it. It opens your doors for many things. So I would say definitely look into that. If we have any of the women that support my channel that is thinking of a career in that, or even men, definitely get into that. Trust me, it will pay
Do you know
off.
about antenna theory?
Not really, not much,
Okay. But
but
anyway,
go ahead.
no, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. But I really enjoyed the conversation. Like this is this is the lives that I'm like geared to when we can sit down and we can bounce stuff off of each other
Yes,
without the screaming and you know people coming in trolling and stuff like that. Like I felt like I walked away with some more knowledge than I
definitely,
came in with. So thank you
definitely.
for having me and shout out to everybody on the chat.
Thank you, Sundown, for joining my stream. And definitely,
You got my
if you
personal
want,
information, man.
yeah, if
Yes,
you
sir.
wanna, like I said, if you wanna hop in,
Because Denise, you
or
need to
at
start opening
least
up your emails. Because I had 7 clients that hit you up. They said that
you'll
they
be
have at least got in contact.
surprised. Really? I have to check my
Seven
email. I have
people,
to check my email.
and I got 25 more people that went through. I got all my clients that I managed to get from my channel, and I'm going to
Hmm.
flood them over the area, and also anybody else that has a business. So that's why booking consultation. I have a couple of clients that made $75 of their stimulus money to $1,200 based off of the
Okay.
green energy plays and executive orders. So oil and gas stocks has been going up due to the fact of the circumstances that's going on.
Yeah,
Everything else is pretty
This is
much
how you make
buy
money.
the dip because cryptocurrencies, hmm?
No, I was just saying this is
E-commerce
how
and
you make
wholesale real
money.
estate.
Is
Yeah,
this
in
is how
general.
you
My bad.
become better. You know what I mean? You network with people that have knowledge in certain career fields or certain aspects, and then they give you knowledge, and then you can pass off some of the knowledge that you have to them, and everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
This is how the rich people stay rich.
yeah, definitely,
Everybody wins. We
definitely.
got literally like a whole group of 30 people literally in this
Yeah.
chat. So
But yeah, take care, man. You guys have a great rest of your
yep,
night.
Thank you so much,
take care.
Sundown. Hope to see
All
you
right,
on the
Sundown.
future streams.
All right, take
Um,
care.
Now I'm gonna start closing statements. You guys know I like to keep this shorter, under 3 hours. So I will start with from above. I will start with Terrell because he is the one that has stayed quiet the most. So Terrell, final thoughts. Terrell, you still with us? I think the woman got him. So I will skip her out now. Real deal. Final thoughts on today's topic, and if you can share any chips of wisdom. What do you think? What are your final thoughts?
That businesses can be started with $0. It's just that you have to become the human capital machine. Pretty much everything that you understand, and you got to provide a equity and charge a fee for the sweat equity that you provided. That's literally how people that become middlemen, brokers, people that find a wedge, people that find literally something where they can negotiate downward and assign it to somebody else higher on a markup. That's literally what this economy is about. My email is creditbuilder475@gmail.com. If anybody wants to get in contact with me, I'll provide a free stock market list. Denise, it was a pleasure. All aboard, everybody on the panel. Bro Tep, I'm out of here.
Thank you very much, Real
All right,
Deal,
my man.
and we will see you on our next stream. Thank you very much for joining. Now, Jose, your final thoughts on today's topic. Anything you'd like to share?
Well, as always, you always do an amazing job with these live streams. And the fact of the matter was, we received a very excellent education tonight. And the fact of the matter is, as always learn something new. Um, I'm glad that we was able to calmly share our insights regarding this topic. And as always, I enjoy your live streams, and I thank you again for allowing me to participate. I just want to wish everyone a good night, and please be safe. And the reason why I always say that, because we're still in the middle of a pandemic, and unfortunately, we have some crazy people that we have to be aware of.
Definitely, definitely. And I appreciate that you always come here and share with me your wisdom. Like I said, be safe. Always, you're always welcome here, Jose. I always like your good vibes. So definitely keep hopping on. Thank you very
Well,
much.
thank you. Like I said before, you can thank my mom for the type of person I am today.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. She's
So
a great woman. So
yes.
shout out to her.
All right.
Thank you
So
very much.
thank you. Please be safe, everybody. Take care.
No problem. Bye bye.
Good night.
So I see that Rakim joined us a little late, but Rakim, if you have been listening, first, thank you for that donation. Second, what are your final thoughts or your take on today's topic?
Hey, how's everybody been doing today?
Great,
What up,
great.
Rakim?
Hey, what's going on? How you fellas and
All right,
ladies
all right.
been
And
doing?
ladies, man, we all good. We all good.
My final thoughts on it, because I got a chance to catch the half of your live stream, Denise. This is very important. Love topics like this. Financial literacy is something that a majority of the world lacks. That's how, you know,
Mhm.
you have a lot of people that do know how to make money, that do know how to be involved in business, take advantage of the poor. So, it's a lack of knowledge out there, and this is something that definitely needs to be discussed so people can have better habits of spending, better habits of saving, learning, the do's and don'ts of creating a business, and learning from the mistakes and failures of making a business so they can become successful and they can be more financially literate.
Definitely, definitely. And like I said, today's topic is for everybody to actually learn from it because it doesn't require you to invest anything but your efforts. And I think there's no better business deal than that. You have to invest $0, just put yourself out there and like learn from other people and at the same time help them with their business. So definitely this is a topic that I wanted to go over. It's something that I've been joking around with other people, other friends that I have on these YouTube streets that are more like knowledgeable of business and stuff. But from a joke, it became something that, it's something people wish they would know on how to, start from nothing.
Yeah.
So definitely something to look into it. And like I said, thank you, Rakim, for that donation. And thank you for always coming here. Also, like Jose with good vibes and Bro Tip and All Aboard and even Real Deal. You guys always come with good vibes. And, I appreciate that.
Oh, no, no, no problem with that, Denise. One thing I just wanted to say, shout out to your channel, because these are topics that need to be discussed. This channel is for critical thinkers. It's not for, people that lack intellect and lack understanding and lack comprehension. So,
Definitely. It's like I said, this is a channel for the 10%, I would say. The 10% of the population of the people that we entertain on a daily, they will be the ones drawn here because we can discuss more elevated subjects about money. That's something that intimidates a lot of people. So, only the knowledgeable might be here.
all right.
So thank you very much, Rakim. I appreciate your 2 cents. I'm gonna put you backstage. Now, all aboard and Bro Tap. In which order you guys want to go on your final thoughts?
It's up to you, Brotep.
If all the board's not ready, I'll go. Listen, there are a lot of times when we engage in this sort of bochenche loving behavior, right? But I'm glad it's only a limited amount of us here learning this stuff. You know what? If you ain't here, you don't deserve to be here. Give me a second. People haven't figured out how to monetize their life. You're living in a capitalist society where money is the lifeblood of everything. And people are sitting next to businesses and they have a valuable solution in their life right now. Who they are is a solution to a problem that that business has. And neither the business nor that person knows it. So if there was some sort of awareness, like, okay, you're on social media all the time. Maybe you love talking on the phone. Maybe you have some other skill or some other connection. Maybe you know a whole series of people that you've gone to lunch with or whatever. You can monetize that aspect of your life and help that business, right? And you can basically nestle under their wing and you can mutually gain from this. And you starting with $0, like Denise says, and suddenly you're part of a business that already exists but was struggling because they had a problem that you could solve. You know what I mean? I love that sort of thing, and I like discussing it here. And
Yes.
it kind of reinforced. See, the other reason why it's good to be here on this channel is that not only does it shed light on new things that you haven't learned before, but it reinforces repetition's the mother of learning and skill building. So it reinforces. I wasn't thinking about this. I knew this before, but I wasn't thinking about it this week. Now it reinforces, yeah, you got to monetize this. What solutions do you have, bro tap, that someone else needs and you can mutually gain from? So yeah, that's pretty much my, you know, final thoughts on that. And I'll let all aboard go now.
Before all aboard goes, you guys know we have after my stream, Brotep has his stream.
Yeah.
I think it starts at 7 or it's
Yep.
gonna start right after this one. So definitely when we finish here, we wrap this up. I will make a quick announcement before I end my stream. However, let's go to Bro Tabs. I will be there sharing my thoughts on
Yeah.
his topic. If you don't mind me asking, Bro Tab, what's today's topic on your channel?
Well, this particular one, I had planned to touch on the copyright situation, and I'll touch on it again because I made the other one way too soon. But I'm actually breaking down the Marvel Eternals teaser trailer because
Mhm.
it's filled with a lot of. There's a lot there to discuss. There are a lot of black and brown people in it, and they're in very interesting positions.
Mm.
Yeah, very interesting positions. It looks
That
like I'm seeing.
that
I'm sorry, go ahead.
that's something that I definitely want to discuss. So,
Yeah, definitely. Look, it looks like there are Hispanic people in there, Indian people in there, black people in there, and there's even a still of Aztecs fighting off conquistadors,
hmm,
and yeah, there's a lot there
yeah,
to discuss, and I'm gonna yeah, I'm very excited to get this one
yeah, I'm
popping off.
excited too. I'm excited. I need to
Yeah,
jump on there, and definitely on the copyright situation, I can, jump in and actually give my 2 cents. And for
cool,
those
cool.
that are a little slow and but do have their own channels, my beats that people like a lot are from Upbeat.
Okay, cool, cool.
And you can get free music from them, and it's amazing music. I love their beats. No, I don't have the time to make my own beats right now. I'm busy with a lot of stuff, from the home improvement to my YouTube channel to making my little studio so I can come up and stuff. So no, I use their audio, their beats, and they're really, really, really good, and they are copyright free. So if you don't know that and you have a YouTube channel, definitely look them up, so that you don't get a strike like certain individuals. Now, thank you, Brota, for joining today. I'll put you backstage and I'll stay with
Thank
All
you,
Aboard.
Brother.
Now, All Aboard, final thoughts on today's topic.
Something that I want to say is that a lot of people don't realize they're business minded, but something that um, Radical said earlier is that he was basically talking about hustling. When you hustle, that is a form of business, right? That's a big part of it. Being able to manage money, being able to communicate, being able to not waste your supplies. These things can also be applied to business. You don't need a business degree to be a business person, to be a business owner. So I think we need to elevate to get to business owner status, like in general, because it's not that we aren't capable, it's that we don't apply the knowledge properly. All of those things are useful. So I would say that, and I would also say I really appreciate the topic, and I want more women to be in business, of course, but we're
Definitely.
completely capable. We're running this country, whether they like it or not. Like the minority is the one that is pushing this country forward, and it's always been that way. So,
Definitely.
mhm.
And that's something I will touch next week. Now I will put you backstage so I can give my final thoughts. And also, I have a very interesting thing that I want to share with you guys. In case you miss last week, or if you love last week's stream, guess what? There's a part two that's coming up of Latin explaining the lie Latinos have believed. There's a part two coming this Thursday. So make sure you're here, you like this video, you subscribe to this channel, and also hit the bell for notifications so when I go live, you don't miss a second of the content. So make sure you're ready. Get your popcorn ready, your whack and chips ready, your wine, your drinks. We're going to have a very nice and entertaining stream this Thursday. You guys know that, I always start the week very holistic and more educational, but then as the week keeps coming and going, I tighten the screws a little bit and we go into more interesting topics and more controversial. So definitely part two is coming this Thursday. Make sure you connect so that you can not miss any second. Now, my final thoughts on this topic is it's going to be something very simple, but I want to leave you guys with this. I know, we don't have necessarily the tools or are educated with the tools to actually make ourselves business owners or entrepreneurs or venture into corporate America. I know that. And I know many of us have been intimidated by the things we see. There's a lot of things we probably don't understand. However, I started doing this channel so that people can get to know me and also get to know what I stand for when it comes to business and prosperity. So it saddens me that, we're not taking advantage of these opportunities, but I have a lot of hope that, even though this is a very small channel right now, we will grow and people will start getting more knowledge into this business ventures and also get some answers that they have asked themselves for a very long time. And to Blood Moon, like, girl, go get it. You still have time. We're still here. Let's make this stuff happen. Also, Blood Moon, I don't know if you were here, but a lot of people, and also the rest of the people that are in the chat, I want to remind you guys that since by public demand, a lot of people hit me up that they don't have an Instagram and they want to participate in the giveaway that I'm doing. All you have to do is subscribe to my channel and also go to the Latin explaining the lie Latinos have believed part one and leave a comment below, and you'll be in, okay? Because I know a lot of you guys don't have an Instagram and I still want to give you an opportunity to participate. So if you already did the Instagram part, don't worry, you still in for the giveaway. But for those that don't have an Instagram, I'm giving you an opportunity. I will announce the winner of the giveaway this Thursday. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and also leave a comment down below on the stream that I did Friday. That is the lie Latinos have believed. So, like I said, um, without any further ado, I want to thank everybody that joined tonight. And, for those that have supported me from day one, thank you very much. And I will see you guys Thursday. You guys know every Monday and Thursday, I'm here at 4 p.m. Pacific time, 7 p.m. Eastern time. So I will see you guys Thursday. Have a very productive week. If you have any questions regarding today's topic or anything else, I'm putting my email down below. You can message me. And also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram if you want to keep up on me in real time. I'm mostly on Instagram. So my Instagram is denise.gonzalez.villegas1. So make sure you follow me on Instagram. Let's have cool conversations from now on. And like I said, thank you guys very much. I hope you have learned something from this, and let's keep it moving. Thank you very much, and good night.